नमस्ते, हमेशा खुश रहिए। This is JD and Dr. Vishal Saxena, Associate Professor in Mathematics in Jayapur Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. Today I am going to discuss about the module Estimation Theory. This module is a part of the course Quantitative and Statistical Techniques in the program of PhD coursework. In statistics, an estimator is a rule for calculating an estimate of a given quantity based on observed data. Thus, the rule, the estimator, the quantity of interest, the estimand, and its result, the estimate, are distinguished. There are point and interval estimators. The point estimators yield single valued results, although this includes the possibility of single vector valued results and results that can be expressed as a single function. This is in contrast to an interval estimator, where the result would be a range of plausible values or the vector or the functions. Estimation theory is concerned with the properties of estimators, that is with defining properties that can be used to compare different estimators, different routes for creating estimates for the same quantity based on the same data. Such properties can be used to determine the best rules to use under given circumstances. Criteria for a good estimate. There are a large number of statements about estimating that are flawed from the start. A good estimating process produces good estimates for all the quantities we need without exceeding the resources allocated to the estimate. Estimating is a process just like designing code, a process our developing a marketing campaign for the product we just release is a process. The primary requirement for the estimate is to provide a value for given quantity with a known and appropriate level of accuracy. All estimates by their nature have errors. The accuracy of an estimate depends on two different things. First, the inherent accuracy of the estimating technique or the model. Second, the errors in the input parameters. To assess the amount of risk associated with a bad estimate, if we underestimate the effort needed to patch the SQL server over the weekend, what is the cost of not being able to start the production server on Monday morning? Why do we estimate? To control the project without a target to steer toward and an estimate of the time, cost and the probability of success of the efforts towards the target. We don't know if the target can be achieved. Once we are underway, new information is available to take corrective actions on the variances between planned progress and actual progress. This is the basis of closed loop control. Without a steering target, the estimated needed progress to reach the target as planned measures of the actual progress to plan, the differences between planned and actual. and the corrective actions to get back on plan. We are going to be late, over budget, and our gadget likely to not work. Have the business understand the potential cost, duration and probability of success. It is not our money. We may hear statements about the waste of estimates, but it is not our money. Estimates future performance. If we are working on a project that has a duration beyond our ability to see all the work in detail, we need an estimate of how long, how much and what can be done to produce the needed value for those paying for our work. Point estimation. In statistics, the process of finding an approximate value of some parameter such as the mean average of a population from random samples of the population. The accuracy of a particular approximation is not known precisely, though probabilistic statements concerning the accuracy of such numbers as found over the many experiments can be constructed. It is desirable for a point estimate to be consistent. The larger the sample size, the more accurate the estimate. Second, unbiased. The expectation of the observed value of many samples, average observation value, equals the corresponding population parameter. Third is most efficient or the best unbiased of all consistent unbiased estimates, the one processing the smallest variance, a measure of the amount of dispersion away from the estimate. In statistics, interval estimation is the use of sample data to calculate an interval of possible values of an unknown population parameter. This is in correct contrast to point estimation, which gives a single value. Georgi Neiman, 1937, identified interval estimation by interval, as distinct from point estimation by unique estimate. In doing so, we recognize that the point, then the recent work putting results in the form of an estimate plus or minus a standard deviation indicated that interval estimation was actually the problem statisticians really had in mind. The most prevalent forms of an interval estimation are confidence intervals, a frequentist method, and the credible intervals, a Bayesian method, and other forms also include likelihood intervals, a likelihood method, and fiducial intervals, a fiducial method. The session is powered by Digital Project 2, Jayoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. I hope all you are satisfied with this digital session. If you have any query, please mention in the comment box. I will resolve it. With this, I conclude today's session. Thank you.